A smile.
That's sweet. That's dedicated to Mr. De La Cruz. Okay. It's
Sort of the elements today and technology briefly, but like led in her battle with that famous heavyweight Sam, I think you'll all agree that we've come out the victors, and it's been a fantastic day. For those of you who don't know, I'm Luke. I'm the best man. I'm one of Sam's oldest friends, one of his best friends, at least until today. I think, and I hope you'll agree with me, that we've had a superb wedding in a beautiful location. But every silver lining has a cloud, and for the next bit you're going to have to listen to me for a few minutes whilst I possibly lower the tone a bit. On momentous occasions such as this, it's sometimes fitting, appropriate, customary even, to lift a quote from a great work. And I think it was Wayne in the film Wayne's World who once famously observed, marriage is a punishment for shoplifting in some countries. But I'm not here today to knock the great institution of marriage. In fact, I've already been married once myself, and I may do it again. First of all, though, I'd like to congratulate the bridesmaids, Kath, Anne, Jo, Renelle, Leslie, Camille, B, and Led's Maid of Honour, Lay, for how beautiful and lovely they look today, and perhaps you can put your hands together and thank them in the usual way. I'm sure you'll agree they're only eclipsed by Led, who looks quite stunning. In contrast to Sam, who's still looking quite stunned. So let's start by talking about Sam.
yay!
Sam was born at a very early age, about the size of a baby, on July the 10th, 1973. I tried to link Sam's birth date to some major world event, but unfortunately nothing else seemed to happen that day. But the hospital staff still refer to it as Ugly Tuesday. I've known Sam nearly 30 years. We attended Teddington School together in London since the age of about 11. And at school, Sam was bullied and harassed and beaten up, and that's just by the teachers. In fact, I remember Sam's first day at school, he got into a fight with another pupil called Colin Chiswick. And it was shortly after that Sam took up martial arts, and he took it very seriously. He used to run 5 miles before every fight, but his opponents still managed to catch him up and beat him up anyway. One of my earliest memories of Sam is when we were about 13. I helped him dye his hair for a charity called Comic Relief, and we used a whole bottle of bleach to do the job, although sadly these days we don't need a fraction of the stuff. As Sam and I grew up, we developed a number of shared interests, not least among them going to noisy drum and bass clubs. Now, Sam would be a great dancer if it weren't for two things: his feet. Sam employs what I would call the non-rhythm method of dancing. He generates a huge amount of attention on the dance floor. And I think that's maybe because people think the strobe lights are giving him a seizure. Now, Sam is a teacher by profession, but he has a number of other interests, chief among them eating. Every man needs a hobby, I guess. To Sam, pumping iron is lifting a knife and fork. A balanced diet for Sam is a burger in each hand. But Led's energised him. She's energised his mind, his body and his spirit. He would jump through hoops for her. He gets a spring in his step at the mention of her name. And when she agreed to marry him, he turned cartwheels. Yet, Led didn't even know he was going to propose to her. When Sam said that he had something to ask her, she assumed it was whether to call Yellow Cab or Pizza Hut. But who is the real Sam? What separates the man from the myth? Some say Sam is a bit of a ladies' man. The question is, which bit? Some say Sam is God's gift to women. Well, let's just hope God kept the receipt. International man of mystery, connoisseur of fine wines, renowned philanthropist. Sam is none of these. In fact, I doubt he can even spell them. But there's nothing I wouldn't do for Sam, and likewise, nothing he wouldn't do for me. In fact, we've spent most of our lives doing nothing for each other. Seriously though, when I started writing the speech, I racked my brains for incidents of embarrassment that I could highlight tonight. But to tell the truth, most of the things I can remember incriminate me. It was me that, got into scrapes and was caught with my pants down, compromised myself, and Sam was always on hand to help bail me out. So I asked a few of the groomsmen to come up with some tales. Here's one from John. Sam should have proposed to Led months earlier, on board a plane. But the captain and the crew didn't trust some dodgy, unshaven Arab-looking bloke with the plane's communication system. Here's one from Upper. Sam, I guess, would have been about 19, 20 at the time. He was in London and he wasn't the safety-conscious driver that we all know him to be today. And he was driving home in his father's VW Beetle, crashed the car, hit a parked car, and he thought there were no witnesses. So he drove off, left the scene, but there were witnesses who reported him. He had to go to court, pay a fine, get the points on his licence. But the funny thing was, he damaged the right-hand side of the front of the car, so he had to find a route home with left turns only. Another one from Upper, who recalls a trip he made to Thailand, and he and Sam hired a canoe to go on a trip down the river. And Sam, being the tightwad that he is, wouldn't part with the equivalent of about 50 peso or 80 pence in UK money for a guide. So they set off down the river, took a wrong turn, went over a waterfall and nearly killed themselves. Let me conclude by making a few remarks about the happy couple. I remember when Sam first introduced me to Ed, it was at a lovely Japanese restaurant in Makati. And there before me stood a vision in a shimmering pink summer dress in high heels. I forget what Ed was wearing. Sam, how lucky are you? You've gained a wife who is warm, loving, caring, and who radiates kindness wherever she goes. Led, how lucky are you? You leave here today having gained some flowers and a new dress. But I must say, Sam, you've married well. Your wife is beautiful, charming, and exceptional. And Led, you've married, well, Sam. I spent a month worrying about this speech, and the point of it only came to me this week, and I'm extraordinarily honoured to be picked from amongst the 7 other groomsmen who are such a lovely bunch of fantastic guys. And my friendship with Sam means the world to me. Over the years and across the ocean since he's left England, it's like he's never been away. We've always kept in touch. And loyalty plays a highly regarded part in any friendship, and me and Sam have that bond. And that leads me on to the wedding party, and it's great to see so many friends and family here today. And on behalf of Sam, I can honestly say it wouldn't be the same without you. Just a whole lot cheaper. So it gives me finally immense pleasure and immense relief to ask you all to be upstanding and raise a toast with me. Upstanding. To love, to laughter, to happy ever after, the bride and groom.
Yeah.
Thank you.